Today we are cycling. We are cycling from Nairobi to Naivasha. And the reason why we are doing this is we are raising awareness to the people and the public about the malaria disease.
The event is going to take 3 days. So this is the first day where we are cycling from Nairobi to Naivasha, roughly 90 to 95 kilometers.
Ukiangalia katika jamii zetu, malaria imeathiri watu wengi, malaria imeua watoto, kina mama na hata wazee. Na kwa sababu hiyo imetupasa sisi kama vijana kusimama kuwa mashujaa kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunapigana vita dhidi ya malaria.
I was raised from a community that is prone to malaria, that is lake endemic. And so most of the time I will be diagnosed with malaria disease. And so because of the proximity of the area where I was coming from and the distance where you will access health was a challenge, most of the time my parents will prefer doing OVC, over the counter. And this one affected me so much because when initially I was now diagnosed with malaria, at times the body could resist because I had taken the drugs without the doctor's prescription. And because of the number of people that were affected from my community, I'd say it was the right time for me now to join the race, become the Zero Malaria Ambassador, and ensure that I sensitize not only my community, but the country.
Malaria ikiwa jirani yangu, pia mimi nimeathirika. Malaria ikitoka kwa jirani yangu, yule kile kiini kikija kwa mtoto wangu pia mimi nimegusika pale vile vile. Kwa hivyo nikiungana na vijana wenzangu kupiga vita dhidi ya malaria, nimejisaidia mimi, jamii yangu na hata wale wapenda wangu ambao wote nawajua.
As a country, we need to achieve a free malaria Kenya, but we cannot do that if we don't bring the youth on board. And so the government saw the need to have us on board. And so today, as you see my guys here, we are here to create awareness, to advocate for the free malaria Kenya come 2030.
We are cycling just to ensure that the community, the public is aware that malaria is a killer disease and everybody needs to take action. So by just cycling, we are giving an example to the country.
Right now as we speak, it's 7 p.m. We are here in Naivasha. The journey from Nairobi to Naivasha has had several challenges. Like I remember on the Mahimayu road, some of us got into a little accident, which is okay. But again, with the traffic, with the transit goods all over, it's kind of slowed our pace. But I thank God that we all made it here and our goal has been accomplished.
This activity for today, which is Pedal for Malaria, started off in Nairobi yesterday, date 9 of August 2024.
Okay, yesterday was the warm-up for the Hell's Gate Bike Fest. But aside from it being a Hell's Gate Bike Fest, we are here to pedal against malaria.
This activity of championing for the elimination of malaria in our country began in the year 2021, and it was really rolled out by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta in Kilifi in Mombasa. All through, we have been active participants in the cause of malaria elimination, whereby we've been advocating for zero malaria around our society.
I'm expecting fun. That's the main thing that imetukuja hapa. I'm also expecting that people will understand that malaria is a very deadly disease, and I will expect that most of the people will support us and help us eliminate malaria.
It's always a challenge in everything. Sometimes you can go to a race and find there's rain, and you find the cause is a muddy course. Today it was sunny, so it was hot, and there's a lot of wind, and there's loose gravel. Yeah, there's always challenges, and today's the main challenge was the wind and the loose gravel.
Malaria is no joke, and it will be necessary for everyone to be part of this cause by trying to be cautious about it, and also to practice good practices which make it possible to eradicate malaria, like use of insecticide-treated nets and also good management of our environment.
We are targeting the cycling community to share messages in the different parts of the country that they traverse. For today, it's like an eye-opener for us just to meet these cycling guys, get to interact with them so that we can be able to onboard them. It's an integration of a campaign that we have called The Power of Everyone, where basically everybody has the power to contribute to end malaria. So we are targeting to end malaria by the year 2030, and we have to accelerate this. And having this race is symbolic for us, just to show that we can be able to accelerate the fight against malaria.
We started with a race of 90 kilometers from Nairobi to Naivasha, and here in the main event we have done two major events, of which the Pedal Against Malaria was the major event, that is the 50 kilometers race, to create awareness about malaria infection prevention and also control among the communities across this region and even across the country, because we have the tourism community who moves from one point to another, from Naivasha to the lake region, from the lake region to the coastal region. Yeah? So with this information, they're able to take this information to other persons in different regions for us to ensure that we deliver this information to people across the communities.
Malaria is one of the diseases that have taken most of our children, even some of the adults. So I basically just want to raise awareness on malaria. And when you're raising awareness, it just doesn't necessarily have to be words, sometimes actions, having fun. But basically it's just raising awareness against malaria, and of course just trying to bring more people on board in the fight against malaria.
The primary goals and objectives of this campaign has been to create awareness to cyclists and non-cyclists on different malaria prevention methods so that they can prevent themselves from getting malaria, and also to advocate for resources to fight malaria.
As you know, as young people, we really try as much as possible to do our own domestic mobilization, but at the same time we really need partners to come on board. We have had engagements with Ambref Global Fund, ALMA, but at the same time, this is the chance we are taking to really put anyone else who is not in the health space to even come on board and contribute resources for especially advocacy and also activities for malaria. Every partner within the Kenyan space, that is, whether you're coming from the private sector, the non-governmental institutions, the government itself, you have a role to play so that we can be able to increase uptake of the various interventions that are there, put in place by the Ministry of Health, specifically by the National Malaria Control Program, where we are key partner in this because, as you know, the youth are the majority. So our role as the Kenya Malaria Youth Corps is just to make sure that we amplify every partner's input in this fight against malaria.
So we are calling upon all stakeholders to join us in this fight. Let us not fight alone as the young people, but as the whole of us.
And you know, the truth is that as much as we are passionate in the fight against malaria, we still need resources. And this is where you all come in, whether you're government, corporate, private sector, individuals, the community. We all need to pull our resources together so that you can ensure that you have zero malaria.
Everyone across the country, different communities have their role to prevent, control, and eliminate malaria across the country. This would be successful if each and every individual takes responsibility. One, sleeping under treated bed nets, taking care of their families at every given point by ensuring wherever there is a suspected cause of malaria or a suspected signs or symptoms of malaria, they take action by visiting a health facility or visiting a healthcare provider to get a diagnosis, to know their status of malaria and also to get treatment so that we are able to manage the malaria cases across the community.
It's always okay to just fight for the things that matter. Sometimes we don't necessarily see the change we want to see now, but in the long run, there's something they're doing. So it's the small efforts that make up the bigger picture.
Zero malaria starts with me. Zero malaria starts with you. Zero malaria starts with all of us.
Zero malaria starts with me, zero malaria starts with you, and zero malaria starts with all of us. Federal power.